Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here in London in the house of Josh Taylor. With me I've got Josh Taylor himself. How you doing, buddy?
What's happening, Andy, man?
I'm good, mate. Well, first and foremost, thanks for inviting me down to your house.
Welcome to the crib.
The crib. We'll do a wee IFL cribs tour in a wee minute so that people can see the luxury pad that you're living in.
Aye.
It's been a good day today. Nice wee walk around the park with you and your dog. You can probably hear
There's the king trying to talk to you now, the king of the house now.
Yeah,
He's fucking just had something to eat, so he's all hyper and that.
He's hyper.
Yes,
Yeah, good wee walk. So, tell you what, it's nice down here though, eh?
It's a nice area. It's a right nice area. It's good as well for me. Like after I've done a hard session and that as well, can come out. Just only a couple of miles up the road for the gym, so it only takes me 10 minutes to cycle up the road, you know what I mean? So I just can get out the gym, come take the dog a walk, chill out for a few hours. If I'm feeling a bit tired or down, I can just put the head down and get a wee sleep in that. Yeah. And just get a wee sleep in that and chill out if I need to. So it's good. Yeah.
Well, that's perfect for you because, like I said, I'll meet you at the gym. Nice 5-minute drive up the road, and there's a lovely, beautiful park there. We took the dog out for a walk, so it's everything you need when you're in training camp. Because let's talk about it. Ivan Baranchyk sent that tweet out this morning when I was coming down on the train, saying that he's looking forward to coming to Glasgow to face you. First, are you happy about that? Because there was a little bit of uncertainty.
Of course, I'm happy about it. Of course, there's a lot of talk. He's pulling out, and you know, I don't think he wants to come to Glasgow. I think that was the main issue with all the confusion. I don't think they wanted to come to Scotland, but. As I say in Scotland, tough tatty. So
tough tatty,
it's the way it's going, and he's coming to Glasgow, and he'll be getting sent back to Belarus without his belt. So I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon. So this is the fight I've been talking to you for years, Andy, about becoming world champion. I'm going to be world champion. All the years of telling you. This is the fight. It's a month away. 4 weeks away. So this is my dream fight to make my dream become a reality. So I'm going to make sure I do everything and grab this opportunity with both hands and win that belt.
Well, that's the thing. Obviously, the fight's 4 weeks, a month away. There was uncertainty of who you're going to face if Baranchyk was going to be. Was that difficult for you in camp because of that uncertainty of not knowing who you're going to face? Like, well, IBF came out and said that Baranchyk would have been stripped of that title, so you would have fought for the title. But
a vacant one.
Was it difficult for you to get your mind focused in on that date?
No, really. Nah, I knew I was going to be fighting May 18th regardless, and I knew I was going to be fighting for a title. So it was just the same approach. It was just the same approach. Train, make sure I'm getting fit, strong, sharp in sparring, sharp in the pads. You know, I was getting different sparring in because there was rumours it was going to be a tall Thai guy. He was ranked, I can't remember his name, but he was ranked in the top 15. So it was going to be maybe against him or Baranchyk. So I've been varying the sparring up, and I've been performing well. So I was just concentrating on myself, making sure I was fit, strong, performing the way I want to perform. You know. So now that it's been confirmed that it's him, so I'm over the moon. Get a camera on that.
Man is going nuts behind me. So again, Baranchyk, he's obviously he's played this, maybe a mind game with you, so to speak, a little bit. Is that sort of? I know you.
Right, come on, shut up.
I know you, Josh. And I know and as we say in Scotland, tough tie. But as we say in Scotland, you're a Raj, right? You're quite. Has this sort of pissed you off in the sense that you want to maybe go out there and make a statement against Baranchyk because of the way it's panned out?
No, really, it's the same approach. It's the same approach. Just a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors or behind the scenes with his manager and things like that. So it was the same approach for me. I was just concentrating on the boxing and getting fit and strong. But that being said, with all this carry on and unknowing, I do now want to rip his head off his shoulders. I do want to hurt him, you know. I do want to get in there, and I'm going to take this. It's my world title opportunity, so I want to make sure that I grab it with both hands, and I want to take his head off his shoulders and make sure there's no thing with judges or anything like that. I want to take my own destiny in my own hands and win the title. Don't bring the judges into it.
Yeah, that's the way to do. That's the old saying is they don't get paid for overtime and all that sort of thing.
Exactly.
The World Boxing Super Series, you touched on that then, that you said that you've spoke to me for years and years and years saying that, I'm going to be world champion, I'm going to be world champion. By the end of the year, you could be a unified world champion. When you think how close you are to being a world champion, and then the next fight you could be a unified world champion. How's your mindset in that? Like, how do you focus on just Baranchyk and not what's ahead?
It's quite easy, because I just take one fight at a time. But at the same time, it is at the back of your mind. You're going, if I win this next fight's for a unification fight and become unified world champion. And I never dreamed that it would come like this, as quick as this. You know what I mean? 15th fight, fighting for a world title. 16th fight, becoming unified world champion. You know, I couldn't have played it better myself. You know what I mean? So it's awesome. You know, like that that period, that transition to becoming world champion and then becoming unified world champion can take years, because of all the other kind of usual politics in boxing, with other fighters being with different promoters and different channels and broadcasters, and it can make it hard for fighters to get fights and get these unification fights. But with this tournament, it's the 2 belts in the one, and it's happening straight away, and it's the 8 best guys that have been in the division all fighting for the belts. So it's a shoot dash out sort of concept, and it's brilliant. You know what I mean? So I'm going to win world championship, and I'm going to become unified world champion in 2 fights or 3 fights, and it's brilliant. So I'm just rubbing my hands together and loving the moment, you know. But remaining focused and focusing on the goal ahead.
Well, again, you say you take one fight at a time, but there has been sort of like noise from Jack Catterall. He made an interview before. I talk about Jack and what he said about if he wins the WBO and all this sort of stuff. I want to talk a little bit about Regis Progress, who's in this tournament with you now. When this tournament was announced, everyone was saying that the final was going to be you and Progress. Obviously, do you see it like that? How do you see his match really coming up as well? I think that's the end of the month, isn't it? His fight.
I'm not really bothered about it at the minute, to be honest. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just thinking about myself and focusing on myself. I don't really bother about my opponents really until it's my turn to fight them, and then I'll look at them and have a go and obviously do my own thing against them. But I'll watch it after my fight. I'll concentrate that after my fight. But I would expect Progress to come through it. I think he'll win it, but again, in boxing you never know. Relic is a good fighter. He's a real good fighter. He's world champion. You know, he fights at a fast pace. He punches hard. So it could be a hard night's work for Progress as well. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. But I expect Progress to come through it. But we'll just wait and see.
You never see. Well, again, a British fighter I don't think he called you out. I think it was sort of like a way of saying that he would love to fight you, because if he had a world title and you have a world title, it's a natural fight. Jack Catterall, good fighter, good undefeated fighter, southpaw like you, very skillful. Did you read the interview, and what's your thoughts on that?
I read it. I mean, obviously he was respectful, obviously he never called me out or anything like that, but says he thinks he's got the beating of me and things like that, which is obviously, he's a fighter, he's going to obviously think that, but I don't think for his last performance against Zahara Davis, there's no way he's going to get near me. Shit scared to throw a punch, getting outboxed by Zahara Davis for the first 2/3 of the fight, you know, so going for that is nothing to worry about. But of course, it does make sense if he's world champion and I'm world champion. Now it'd be a massive unification fight. It'd be a big bill, either in Glasgow or in Manchester, and it'd be huge.
London, this is
or London, or wherever. But it would be huge in the UK. It would be a big fight if that was the case.
Again, you only take one fight at a time. You've told me that many a times, but you're massive, Josh, for like welterweight. Like you're touching on 6 foot and whatnot. As fighters get older, they find it hard to make weight. So there is that inkling in your back of your mind that you might step up to welterweight. Is the goal to unify all of the belts in so obviously WBO and then WBC, which is Ramirez, if he still holds the belt by the time he comes to you. Is that the goal?
That's the long term goal. That's the longer term goal. You know, obviously I'm focused on this tournament at the minute, winning this tournament, and obviously win the tournament, getting the 2 belts, and then be looking to get the other belts. You know, the WBO and the WBC, and become undisputed champion, the first undisputed champion in Scotland since the great Kenny Buchanan, King Kenny. Yeah. So that's a longer term goal. That's way down the line. It's way down the line, but that is a longer term goal. I want to become undisputed world champion. You know, and bring the belts back to Scotland, and you know, show them McKenny. You know, in the gym in Lochend.
Okay, when that happens, okay, where does that sit you and Ken Buchanan? Does that put you above Ken Buchanan, or do you sit equal? Ken always going to be the top?
No, I think Ken's always been the top that era, and just built different. But the way he done it, he fought all his fights over in America, fought the best when there was only 2 champions or 1 champion. Yeah. You know, 1 or 2 champions. I think it's 2, isn't it? WBA and the other one
in WBC. Yeah.
And you know, he fought all the best. You know, for Roberto Duran over there, and he's
cheated out Roberto Duran.
He's got kicked in the balls, didn't he? But he's the best. You know, but I didn't think about comparing myself with other fighters in Scotland. All the other champions. You know, Ricky as well. Ricky's had a great career. You know, freeweight world champion. Jim Watt, all these other guys, Benny Lynch, and they've all had great careers. So I'm not interested in comparing myself with any of them. I just want to be the best that I can be, and take it as far as I can go. And if that means if that then happens, my dreams then happen, coming to reality, becoming undisputed world champion, and then moving up and going to welterweight and win another world championship at welterweight. That's my goals. That's my personal goals in the game, and that's what I want to achieve. So, so that'd be great.
Well, let's talk about that welterweight division. Give me that ball, man. So let's talk about the
pain on the backside.
That's the king of the house, the Pac-Man.
King of the house. Go.
The welterweight division, probably below maybe the heavyweight division, super middleweight, like heavyweight and all this sort of stuff.
Alright, come here.
Give me that ball. It's probably one of the most lucrative divisions when it comes to
all the big fights
like Prince Crawford, Sean Porter.
I'm going to take him through there.
Let me get the dog on camera, because look at this.
He's a fucking ball. He's a ball. Go on. He's a.
Get the ball, George. Come on.
Right, move. Come on. Right, through there. I'll take it through because it's my head. Come on, get through.
That's the king of the house, ladies and gentlemen. The Pac-Man. The Pac-Man.
Pain in the arse.
So I was saying there, like the welterweight division, lucrative fights. I mean, Terence Crawford fighting Amir Khan this weekend coming up. You've got Sean Porter. You've got all the Keith Thurman.
They're massive fights, big names, and it's all stateside as well. Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's where the big money is over there. So I'd love to do that. Every fighter dreams of going over to the States and fighting in the big fights, you know what I mean? So that is obviously another dream that I would love to do as well. But you know, this is all years down the line you're talking about. So
we can dream ahead.
Providing that everything goes well as well. So positive thinking,
exactly,
good vibes only.
Exactly.
But no, just that's what I would like to do in the game. I want to achieve as much as I can.
How high can you go? I mean, like I touched on it there. Like you are quite tall. Could you go up to light middle? Could you keep up there?
I think light middle would be a bit too big. Yeah. I think they'd be a bit too big. You know, I spar with light middle weights, and I hold my own, and I do well. I do well. It's just the strength side of things is just a wee bit. They're just a wee bit too big. When you get big. Light middleweights, you know what I mean? When you get big lads, I'm massive for light welter, but when you get a big light middle against a welterweight, an average size welterweight, it's a bit big. But I'd go up if there was a fight there. If there was a fight there and it was worth my while and getting good dough for it, then why not? I mean, I'd fight anybody.
I'd fight anybody if it was good dough.
I would fight anybody, you know. So I'm game. I would fight anybody for if it was right, you know what I mean? So Aye, why not?
Well,
But realistically, light middle's probably a bit too big.
much.
Aye.
But like you say, you never know. You never know. Well, we touched on it there. Like, we're watching the Man City Tottenham game in the background here, and there's a wee thing on there saying Crawford v Can Saturday night at 11 PM. So let's talk about that fight. Again, it's a division above you. You might be in the division one day, like we just spoke about. So thoughts on that fight there? Amir Khan against Terence Crawford.
I think it is a good fight. I can only see a Crawford win. But I think it can go one or two ways for me. It can be Khan will make it really competitive and win a few rounds and with speed and catch Crawford out with speed and stuff, and then Crawford maybe starts getting his timing better because Crawford's really patient, you know, and he's good at luring you in and setting traps and getting his own punches off. But I think Khan will make it competitive for a few rounds, and then Crawford then takes over, outboxes him, or it just for the out and out way it goes. Khan tries to go for him or whatever,
gets caught,
and maybe gets knocked out, or it's piss easy for Crawford, just sits on the back foot, waits on Khan coming in, steps back, gets him with his counter punching and walks Khan onto a few shots. But I think it might be competitive for a couple of rounds, a few rounds.
Kind of when I was coming in on the train, I was kind of wanting to get your thoughts on it because you're a talented southpaw, but Lomachenko fought Crawler last weekend there, and I just want to get your thoughts on Lomachenko. I mean, we just spoke about Crawford there as well. Where does they're arguably 1 and 2 pound for pound. Who would you have 1 and 2 then?
I'd say Crawford. Aye, Crawford. I just think he's I don't know why, but I just think Crawford's the better fighter. You know, I definitely think he's better. He's went up a couple of weights as well. I think from lightweight and then up to light welter, now welter. So I'd say Crawford. He
went up to feather, super feather, and light.
But I think he lost his world title fight in that as well, didn't he?
Against Salido,
second fight against Salido. So, but no, I just think Crawford's probably a better fighter. But Lomachenko's in his own right is awesome as well. You know what I mean? With the things he does, and I learn a lot from him.
I was going to say that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
He's southpaw, so I learn a lot of him, and I watch him and I see how he does things, and so I emulate him, try and emulate him, and the things I have been doing, and I have learned from him. I've worked in my fights, so brilliant.
Thanks, Loma.
Cheers. If you're watching, cheers.
Again, while I'm here, while I've got you here, we're talking boxing, and that big news today, obviously, with the Anthony Joshua fight was Anthony Miller, Jarrell Miller, failing that drugs test, and again, what's your thoughts on that? Who do you think Anthony should fight over in the States? I mean,
I don't know.
It's quite tough in the heavyweight division, isn't it?
It's pretty tough. There's not a lot of them really kicking about, really, is there?
No.
I can't really think any at the top of my head, but it's a balloon, man. It's like biggest fight of his career, massive payday involved. In his home city, a chance at world title, big payday. He'll never get a chance like that again. And he's blew it through. I don't even know what it was. Was it a fat burner or something?
I think it was an endurance thing this minute. Like, well, don't quote me on this because somebody will probably comment underneath this video saying that I'm wrong. But I think it's an endurance thing that increased the lung capacity or heart so you can go longer or something like that. That's what I'm reading, but I might be wrong. So, I don't know.
Even still, like this, you can't be putting anything in your body. Really, it's mad. It's crazy. Like how he's done that. It is mental. Like so. Is what it is. Is what it is. I think.
Is what it is. We're just watching Man City v Tottenham, mate. It's 3-2 and there's not even half time yet.
Some game, not even half time yet. There's 4 goals in the first 10 minutes. Mental, man.
It's ridiculous. But you're coming to the fights on Saturday night here. The reason why I'm in London. So again, thank you for letting me stay with you, buddy. Dave Allen, Chisora, obviously separate fights and stuff like that. But just what are you expecting from the show on Saturday?
I think it'll be quite good. I'm a big fan of Dave Allen. You know, I've known him for a few years actually. He used to come to Sheffield when I was on the squads. He used to spar with Joshua and Big Fraser and things like that. So, and he's always been a bit of a character. You know,
you like your character.
I really like him. So I'm looking forward to watching him, and I think he'll do the damage on Browne on Saturday. Like I think he'll do it with relative ease. I think so. I'm looking forward to seeing him doing it. I like to see him doing well. So
he's an IFL favourite. I think all IFL viewers love Dave Allen. But I just remembered one more question at the door.
That'll be Daniel.
But Daniel, you want to get that? No, pause this. Just picking this up again, Josh. Is that's your girlfriend home from a hard day's graft, and
that's a gaffer in.
There's the other gaffer there. So I was thinking about questions to ask you as I was coming on the train there. There was another thing, was Scottish boxing as a whole. How do you see it? Do you feel any pressure, obviously being the figurehead? When people think about Scottish boxing, they automatically think Josh Taylor. But when you look at Scottish boxing, when you look at the young fighters coming through, we had a wee conversation with Rhys McFadden.
I think there's loads of good fighters in Scotland, and they're all coming through, and it's in a real healthy place at the minute. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good talent coming through, and they're all doing reasonably well, and they're climbing up. You know, Joe Ham's got a fight in a couple of weeks for the British title, eliminator, I think it is.
Eliminator, yeah.
So he'll get that, and then hopefully he gets his hands on the British title later in the year. And so there's like you say, Rhys McFadden, a great talent. You know, he went to the games with me, he went over the world, and he's a wee character, but he's brilliant. What a talent he is, and he can go a long way in the sport as well. So it's booming, and it's good to see the lads doing well, and hopefully they're involved in big fights in the near future as well.
Is it pressure on you being the figurehead then?
No, I didn't feel any pressure. No, I didn't feel any pressure. I don't think about it like that. So no, I don't feel any pressure.
See, Scottish boxing, it's always a mantle, isn't it? It's always just one. Like Alex Arthur passed to Ricky Burns probably passing it on to you. Yeah. So why can't we just have like a big group of yous? Like,
I wish we could. There's no many of us though, is there?
No.
There's not very many of us. So were
you trying to say I should have stuck at it? Maybe
we're doing well for a wee country, aren't we?
We are. We're doing very well. Well, Josh, like Danielle's come home and she's already doing the washing. Look, that's look at that.
Real woman. I was hanging up.
Okay, well, better call it a day then. Josh, thanks for this 5 TV, buddy. Thanks, buddy.